We're back in business, rebuilding Barcelona in Football Manager 2026. The goal, win every single Spanish trophy, and of course, bring the Champions League back to the Spotify Stadium. We're playing on the FM26 beta using a realistic handsy flick tactic, aiming to recreate that fast, high-pressing, attacking football that make Barca iconic. And leading the charge, the Golden Trio, Lamine Yamal, Xavi and Pedri. Three of the most exciting young talents in world football. Yamal's flair, Xavi's aggression and Pedri's vision, the future of Barca is in safe hands. This is going to be one incredible journey spread across 3 episodes. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hype up the video and whack the bell on. Today, we go Spanish. Hola! Sorry, I had to start it off like that. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today it is going to be Barcelona. Now, this is going to be a fun project because I personally want to win everything possible in Spain and also have a crack at the Champions League. Now, obviously, it's a brand new game and there's a lot to learn in terms of the menus. We've had a bit of an experience with Newcastle, but this is actually my first real rebuild where we are going to do more than one actual season. We're going to be here for a few years, see what we can do, see what we can do right, see what we can do wrong, learn from mistakes and sort of go from there. Now, obviously, we need to learn the menus very well. This is obviously the sort of club info screen from last year, and I don't hate it. I don't love it. Let me know what you think, by the way, to the actual games menus and stuff like that. Everything's just a little bit different, and we definitely need a little bit of time to sort of come to grips to things because, you know, things like this, a lot of people might not even thought you could have opened that tab right there, but of course, founded in 1899, a team with a rich history, and yeah, they're a team that have won quite a fair few trophies, which I'm going to show you now. You can go here to the club history, look right here, and I mean, we're talking 100 honours, 5 Champions Leagues, 3 Intercontinental Champions, 28 La Ligas, 4 Cup Winners' Cups, 5 UEFA Super Cups, 32 Copa del Reys, and 15 Super Copas. And I think you can click that again and get a nice rundown right there. So they are a team that have got a lot of pressure to obviously get back to that level. And that's where I am hopefully going to come in. Now, in terms of the money, we are obviously going to be looking at a little bit of this. So transfer budget is at 56 million. Now, I'm going to stick to what I did in FM24 and not make a single signing in episode 1, or that is the first season, should I say, because I don't think it's too realistic. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it nice and simple. And yeah, I think that's a fair way to do it. Of course, you can still see the finances. I personally, if I can't find anything, hit search and then type away and go to finances here. So you can see right now, remaining debt, original debt, the summary. You get all of that cool information compressed into every single part of this menu, and you can click, for example, on sponsorships and it brings up a lovely chart right here. Everything is just super in detail, and I can understand why some people are getting, let's say, a rather agitated at the changes. Now, the fixtures, of course, we are playing in several competitions, and our first competitive games do not disappoint. You know, we're going against Elche, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Espanyol, Real Sociedad. We actually have quite a fair run in terms of easier games until we play Madrid on the 23rd of November. Now, in terms of competitions, we are playing in the Liga, the Supercopa, and the Champions League. So that is going to be my aim for this season. I would take 1 trophy in season 1 and sort of build up from there. We are using a tactic I have made, a handy flick realistic tactic. 4-3-3 in possession, bit of 4-2-3-1 out of possession. However, in the match engine, it does actually shape up like a 4-3-3, as we can see in the combined graph here. Now, this is actually not a tactic video on my main channel yet, but Patrons will get to use this early. So if you are interested in becoming a Patreon, you also get all of these cool perks. That does include every single tactic I release, all of my save files, one-on-one tactical help, and literally everything. Set pieces, training, so many more perks. You can see them all pop up. There is still 40% off just, I believe, when this video goes live. Make sure you come on over. Close to 1,000 of you guys have joined since FM26 has dropped, and we've only just begun. The game's not even fully out yet, and we're releasing 9 tactics this week, all files over there. Make sure you go and get involved. But this team is an absolute joy. Now, when you actually look at the team, team on paper. So, for example, Dani Olmo would not be playing as the deep line forward. I would personally have Lewandowski. Obviously, Marcus Rashford has to be considered as well to be in this 11. But you've got, again, I would probably play the likes of ter Stegen, who is injured at the moment, hence why he's not in the team. So we're going to have Jean Garcia, Koundé, Araujo, Cabrasi, Balde, De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. On the bench, Szczesny, Christiansen, Casado, Torres, Garcia, Firmin, Olmo, Bargi. We have got some really, really good teams. Out on loan, you're going to have Pina, Hector Fort, and also Ansu Fati. Now, some of the key players in this team: King Lamine Yamal, 17 years of age, versatile, incredible on the ball, good finishing, good composure, a real complete player that I simply can't wait to use, to be honest with you. I am absolutely buzzing. Rafinha also goes into that category. He looks really, really strong, very, very well-rounded. He is 28, so a bit on the older side, but considering this will be a max 4 to 5 year project, I think he's going to be fine to remain in the club. Lewandowski, obviously a bit on the older side. He is 36 and probably will retire after this season. We then decide, do we go and sign a striker, play Rashford there? Do we get Rashford there? There's loads of decisions we need to actually go and make. As of course, speaking of the man, here he is, Marcus Rashford. So on loan, we probably could buy him afterwards, to be fair. He looks really good in this year's game, surprisingly. I thought he would have had a bit of a downgrade, but since that move to Barcelona, he's actually been quite promising. So, fair play to him. The backline's world-class. The midfield is really what gets the juices flowing. I mean, you've got Pedri, fantastic young player. I mean, probably, in my opinion, one of the best talents in world football, and I don't even think that's a debatable opinion. He's such a good player. Gavi also goes into that category. Wonderful player to watch. Absolute passion merchant. We love to see it. And De Jong, seriously good player. Rumours about his future. For me, I'm just going to keep him because this is not a realism rebuild. Now, in my opinion, this tactic sets up really, really well. It's good on the ball. It's high tempo. We create chances. And honestly, I think we can get quite far playing this way. Now, regards of actually, how we're going to sort of break this down, I'm going to play a few games, show some highlights. I'll play the sort of big games live. But obviously, this is not like the Newcastle one. We've now got multiple seasons to get through, and I have decided it is going to be a 3-part blockbuster with the finale being episode 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right into season 1, where we are going to take on obviously our friendlies first, and I think what I'll do is I'll come back to you once we've played the friendlies, and we'll do it like that. Before that, let's check out the contracts. So again, guys, make sure you use the search option. It is so easy. Look, contracts, just like that. And okay, I'll prove myself wrong then. Okay, maybe the menus aren't that easy. Contracts. Okay, maybe they're not that easy. Well, we finally got it. You just wait for it to pop up, and it is contracts. This is obviously information, the green ones. Contracts, there we go. So they come up, and you can obviously see exactly whose contracts are expiring when, who's going, who's staying. Now, for me, we are obviously in 2025, and we're probably good on the contracts for now, because Hector Fort, Advice don't offer a contract. I mean, he was really good last year, and he looks quite good. So I am going to go over and actually get the director of football to negotiate a contract for me, and then I'll pay him if that doesn't work. You're also going to have Lewandowski. I'll let him probably go on the free, if not transfer listing. Christiansen, I'll probably keep, to be honest. Again, right click, get the director to do it, do your job. Garcia can get the exact same treatment as well. Szczesny's 2027. So contracts are dealt with. On to the good stuff. Cut right back to you because we have had our friendly spell, and across 2 months I couldn't be much happier because we lose our first game, which obviously was not happy. Then we go on to beat Besiktas, a fairly decent team. These 2 games, yes, we probably should have definitely won both, let alone one, but it's not horrific. We are going to beat Gangwon, and we actually beat Bayern 5-2. So that was an incredible game, and we actually do have a blockbuster game against FC Bayern, which is ridiculous, to be honest. So we also take on Elche, which obviously is our first game in the league, 5-1, and that is a statement game. Rafinha, Pedri, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal. It is a ridiculous entry to the season. So I think we're going to start off pretty hot, and I've got a feeling we may go on a spree right up until this Madrid game. I am so confident in this tactic. We're cooking. Well, we are absolutely flying, and a very tough game, actually, a few games in that I missed against Atletico Madrid, and we start off very hot, and Lamine Yamal is going to make it 2 in 71 minutes. Now, we don't keep a clean sheet, but I think this is a statement of how good we are this season. I mean, it's something. Then we take on Valencia, and we lose by 5 goals to 2. So, to be honest with you, maybe we're not all looking quite perfect, because that is not ideal. Now, of course, we did beat Elche 5-1, Villarreal 3-0, and Atletico Madrid 2-1. So it's our first loss, but it's a big loss. And after that loss in the league, we also drew against Espanyol. And to make things even more challenging, we played Man City in between the Espanyol and Valencia game. And it went like this. To be honest with you, it wasn't horrific. We do go a goal down here. It's an immaculate ball through. Great finish from Haaland. But we do bounce back, and we are able to get a point from our first Champions League game, which, to be honest with you, considering as Man City, one of the hardest teams you can play, for now, I'm going to accept it. So a little sort of update for you after a few games in. In terms of the league, we are actually sitting in 3rd place. We're only 5 points only. I mean, Madrid are actually 100% win rates in the league so far. We are obviously way within the top 4, but we have dropped off a bit because of these recent results. So yeah, we've got a lot of catching up to do, and this Madrid team, I mean, they are quite something. Xavi Alonso, Mbappe, Vinicius, Courtois, yeah, they're not a team that you can take lightly, so we need to buck our ideas up. We need to go back and get to this form up here. This form, not this form. Now off against Real Sociedad, and I'll tell you something, finally we're looking a bit of liveliness back into the league, because we go 1-0 up inside of 14 minutes and we do not slow down. De Jong into Pedri, into Rafinha, and these are glimpses of how good I think this tactic is going to be. We've got to tweak it, hence why it's not a dedicated video yet, but trust me, we are absolutely cooking something up here, because the actual lifeline it gives, there's positivity here. Factor that in with a 2-0 win with goals from Yamal and Pedri against Sevilla, and a 2-0 win away against Osasuna, we are having a great time. What's not great, we still can't win in the Champions League. Next up is going to be Newcastle, and we've drawn against City, fine. This isn't fine because we should have won this game, and Newcastle are not an easy team to play, but I need to win. And to put it quite simply, I learned Newcastle's wrath, because they are going to go through, of course, my former team managed on this channel. They're going to go 1-0 up inside of 14 minutes. That was quite ironic because I knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League with Newcastle in my last save, and apparently they're trying to do the same by pushing us down the league phase. As they're about to go, I can't believe I'm going to say this actually, 3-0 up in 52 minutes, and I simply cannot cope with the Newcastle press. They're going to go again. Vault made down the left-hand side, plenty of space, cuts inside. The guy's moving like bloody Cristiano Ronaldo. He is incredible. And again, Pedri, Balde on the ball. What's going to happen here? A little ball in, inside, little cut back, and that, well, it's as sweet as it gets. I mean, it's a decent goal, but come on. 4-1. And things don't get much better because we actually lose to Getafe at home as well. And we're going to go into the next game where we're playing, I believe, away against Napoli in the Champions League. Because if you look at the teams we've got to play, Napoli, Liverpool, Arsenal, Panathinaikos is a bit easier. We need to actually win some of these, because if we go to the Champions League right now and look at where we are sitting in 32nd. I don't even think we've got a chance to get through. We need to win this game. I've done the teams, we've done the lineups. I need to go and win this game against Napoli. So we're going to play this game live, because I was only going to play cup finals live, but apparently things have got dramatic inside of the first few months. This is absolutely mental. So be sure to leave a like when you lock it in for this drama, because this game feels like an absolute money match right now. Playing against a 4-3-3, a very informed Napoli team, to be said. They're looking absolutely world class. Let's see what we can do, and hopefully hopefully things go our way. I've personally gone down to positive because I think attacking's brilliant against some of the smaller teams, but maybe I sort of overshot it a little bit and went a little bit too out there. Now, sadly, I have got the bug where I can't see match stats, so, and I have reset my game. That usually fixes it. It didn't on this occasion, so we're sort of just predicting what's going to happen, which is not ideal because I can't make tactical changes based off it, so yeah, not ideal at all, but we'll see what happens. You know, we've got a Rauhau on the ball, into Koundé, into De Jong, back into Koundé. Bit of patience here. Back into Koundé. I don't mind this at all. Go on, son. Koundé. Oh, go on. Fair play. I don't hate that. I would not expect it from a player like Koundé, but inside of 13 minutes, I'll take it. And yeah, guys, look at the shots we've had. Well, another highlight, and there has not been much going on, to be honest with you, and it might be going their way. It's not, I hope not, please no goalkeeper error. I am fortunate not to have experienced any of the goalkeeper sort of bugs or errors at the moment. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen. Lamine Yamal has gone for goal. Let's cut it there. Oh, a highlight before the first half ends. Rafinha is going to find Lewandowski. What's going to happen here? A cutback. Lamine Yamal. I tell you what, it's not what we need. We need to try and win one of these games. We simply cannot win in the Champions League. We can batter teams in the La Liga, but the Champions League is a different ball game. And I think we're going in. Yeah, we're going to go in here, aren't we, at 0-0? Maybe not, actually. Balde is going to find De Jong. Back into Balde. Into Rafinha. Through one-on-one. Pedri off the post. It's still in play, though. Lamine Yamal is going to keep it alive. A little bit of trickery inside. He's absolutely fluffed his lines. And that is the end of half one. Right, a highlight 2 minutes into the second half. Koundé is going to find Xavi. What's he got to do on the ball then? Lewandowski on the turn into Pedri. Very, very patient, this team, and that's what I like. We don't rush things. Very patient on the ball. Good build-up, but fast build-up. Exactly like Barcelona in real life. And Balde goes through, hits it, and it's another missed opportunity. And even on positive, we're dominating the chances. We just can't make it happen. Again, we're on the attack. Great ball through. Bit of a dodgy touch, I can't lie to you. And maybe Napoli might go on the attack here. I sure hope they don't score because they have had nothing this entire game. Obviously, we can't see the stats, but they've had no highlights. But here comes David Neres down the left-hand side through, goes alone, and it's an easy save for Garcia. And I'm thinking about substitutions in about 15 minutes because I feel like we're going to need something. But this might be a highlight. It's not going to be a highlight. And I'm going to wait until about the 60th minute and we are going to bring on some subs because I feel like we need a goal. We potentially could go attacking as well. And we are going to have an injury. Again, how do you see you've got an injury? This is worrying me. Was it one of these? It's not one of these. Who's injured? Please tell me who's injured. Oh no. Right, I'm going to go and find out who's injured. Well, that is a serious... It needs to be fixed. I mean, it's taken me about 5 minutes looking around my screen. I look down here, I look down here. Can you guess who it is in the comments? Guess who? In 3, 2, 1. It is Koundé. There is a miniature red sort of circle over Koundé. And because of the kits, you can't see. And Garcia is going to come on. And we are going to make some other subs. That has added some stress to this. We are going to bring on Marcus Rashford as well. We are also going to debate potentially spicing it up. Getting Casado on for a little bit of spice. And let's confirm the changes. And we'll also go attacking. But that is not a good clash. The Barcelona kit completely makes that invalid to have in the game. Right, Araujo into Eric Garcia. Plenty of time on the ball, running at the back line. A little ball inside into Lamine Yamal and a cheeky back heel. We like to see that. Ball over into Pedri through. Lamine Yamal goes through and it should be 1-0. And once again, this is not because of lack of quality. Our performance has been great. We just can't score a goal and we deserve one. If I could see the stats, I guarantee we're getting FM'd. Right, another highlight and a set piece. Now, not usually our sort of hot topic when it comes to being a Barcelona team, but I'll take a goal from a set piece this game. Maybe it's what we need. Lewandowski, 1-0. It is what we needed. Please be on offside. Offside. Now, I'm going to see if this is actually accurate because it said offside right now. I think it gives you the decision before it gets to VAR. It does. So that decision is there already. That, again, shouldn't... That's happened like 4 or 5 times right now. That shouldn't spoil it. This isn't a bug breakdown, just to clarify. I'm just making sure you guys can see what I'm seeing because I'm sometimes mind blown. But at the moment, this game is still 0-0 and I can't really go any more attacking because I have gone so attacking already. We just can't score a goal. Simple as that. I even went to very attacking. I threw the bus at it and it's not worked. We are still yet to win a game in the Champions League, and it's nothing to do with how we play because we have been dominating this team and we just can't get the goal. Now, we don't know what the stats are and I don't even know if I want to know because that's a game we should have won. We've done well and we've now got to really go into our next few games, and I think we've got to forget about the Champions League. We're 30th in the group phase. I can't click off it. Yeah, I'll come back once I fix this. But we followed it up with a win in the league, to be fair, so we did actually manage to get some points, and we are going to go 1-0 up here, very luckily, against Real Madrid in 50 seconds. Away from home, make it 2-0 in 4 minutes, and we need to win this to carry on the title fight in our first season. They are going to get a goal back with Camavinga, but we instantly respond. 4 goals in 13 minutes from both teams. Rafinha into Lewandowski, into Yamal, a 3-1 lead. And luckily for us, despite a awful mistake there, we hold on from this scoreline and we beat Madrid. And I can't quite believe it because I tell you something, despite going 1-0 down against Liverpool in our next Champions League game, we find a way to score a goal. Now, it is going to be only 1 goal, so we do get back into the game. Scrap it, we win the game. We bounce back and win our first UCL game. Probably a little too late, to be honest. We'll see if it is too late. 2-1 against probably the hardest team we've played in the Champions League, on par with City. Now, if we go and see, that is a really, really strong past few games. I mean, we'll go and look at it right now, when it lets me come out of holiday mode, go into the fixture schedule, and you can see, you know, after that Napoli game, 3 points against Celta Vigo, 3 against Madrid, a win over Liverpool. Of course, we've got Arsenal, so the fight is still on. In the Champions League, we are now in 23rd. We're working our way up the table. In the actual league itself, though, we are 2nd and we are a lot of points behind, but we've got 2 games in hand against Real Madrid. So that potentially could be 6 points, which would only put us 1 point behind them. But that is, of course, potential, not in person. So far, by the way, the team is doing their job really, really well. If we go and look at the goals being scored, Yamal's dominated it. Lewandowski not far behind. Rafinha, Pedri also chipping in. Our best performer, Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski, the usual candidates. And this tactic is impressing me. It's not been flawless, hence why we're sort of testing it throughout the rebuild. But we're now getting into a bit of form, and we've got a couple of easy games before the blockbuster against the big mighty Gunners. So we need to focus on the Champions League for this part of the video because despite our win over Liverpool in 2-1 fashion, we get pumped 4-0 by Arsenal, which is not ideal by any means of the imagination. Next up is Panathinaikos, and if we don't beat them, I may as well retire now. Good news, we're not going to be retiring because against Panathinaikos, I finally see what Barcelona can do. A great finish inside of 4 minutes to go 1-0 up, and it carries on. 30 minutes after that moment, Balde into Pedri, into Xavi, into Pedri, takes on his man, and that is elegance. A 2-0 advantage before the 20th minute. 40 minutes on the clock, we win the ball high up. Great little header, back and forth here. It's absolute ping pong, and that's going to be 3-0 inside of 41 minutes, and we keep it going. Koundé into Lamine Yamal, taking on his man, absolutely running at the back line through to Torres, and that is going to be 4. And I tell you what, we've got one more game against Sporting. If we win or draw that game, we will make the playoffs somehow, because we have been awful. And talk about scraping it, we get a point in the 92nd minute. So yes, I believe we are fine in the Champions League. Let's go and look at the obviously league phase. We are 22nd So it's not going to be easy at all. It's going to be challenging, but we just about get through. How have we been doing in the league since we last met, though? That's the question. Well, since we last spoke, we beat Athletic Club 1-0 with goals from Robert Lewandowski. The La Liga, again, you know, another game, another chance. Real Oviedo are going to take that chance. A 0-0 draw there. Back into the league, a 2-1 win away against Girona. Villarreal, a 1-0 win. And as the La Liga stands, we are going to be in second place, 4 points behind with 2 games in hand. We're doing pretty decent. As we also, amongst all of this, have been doing very well in the Copa del Rey. We're still in that, knocking out some pretty low Spanish teams, to be honest. And we won the Super Copa 2-0 over Real Madrid. So we already have a trophy won. We are still in every competition. The title race is still on. We're still in the Champions League. And I can't quite believe it because things have not been going too pretty. And yeah, at the moment, the supporters are pleased. The board are satisfied. I'm happy, the players are happy, the tactics cooking. We're in a great place. Sadly, we are going to have our first cup exit. It is going to be the Super Copa. The Copa del Rey, sorry, not the Super Copa. We won the Super Copa. Madrid get their revenge. We only lose on penalties, and it's quite refreshing, that is, because it shows that we still can take it to them in the majority of the games. From then onwards, we have been pretty decent in the La Liga. I mean, we've won against Elche 2-0. We beat Atletico Madrid again 2-0. We did lose against Rayo Vallecano, which is a little bit annoying. We bounce back against Valencia. We win against Espanyol. We lose against Real Sociedad. Mallorca, we stuffed. And we obliterated Sevilla. But you might have mentioned or guessed I have not actually mentioned the Champions League. Yeah. We played Benfica. Right then, so let's get it cooking. This is going to be against Benfica in our home leg. And Balde apparently has turned into a striker because it's 1-0 inside of 6 minutes. And scrap that, it's going to be 2 inside of 16. This is beautiful. Xavi into Koundé, down the right, into Lewandowski. And the Champions League, a competition that we were so frail, so sort of just awful in, to be honest. We finally have come alive. Rafinha into Pedri, into Lamine Yamal. And that is going to be free in 30 minutes, and we carry it on. Xavi out wide into Koundé, plenty of space, running at the back line into Lamine Yamal, and that he's just going to go in, and it's 4, and we make it 5-0, wrap up the game, and most likely wrap up the leg, unless a miracle happens. Yeah, we've cooked. And what did they do? Well, they done nothing. As you can see here, we actually drew 2-2. So we're about to play Basel, I believe in the round of 16, because this will be the playoff game, which is not a bad team to draw against, really. In fact, shall we go and play it together? Shall we treat ourselves, see if we can progress? I'd like to think against Basel we can beat them. Of course, we have got Koundé and Dani Olmo injured, so we'll see what can happen. It is not going to be an easy game. I'll come back to you when we've got the team ready. Right then, so we're about to go in against Basel at home, I believe, and we're sticking with what we know best because this team has got me very, very far. Now, I will go over and say I'm expecting a win here against Basel, and I think it's another game which, you know, maybe Benfica was a little bit more challenging, but against Basel, I genuinely believe we should be going out here and getting it done in the first leg. We're Barcelona. We are the big B's? We are Barcelona. We are that team. We need to get this done. We've got a world-class team, and I was not expecting to even have to take this competition seriously. Judging by the first few games, I did not think would be in it, but we are, and therefore, I'm going to take it to them. Yamal down the right-hand side already in 15 seconds, and this is going to get scary for Basel. De Jong into Cabarrasi, getting a little bit of game time at centre-back now because of injuries at the back line. Christiansen out wide into Balde. What's he going to do down the line? Well, he is going to find Rafinha, who is going to take on his man here. I knew he would, with blistering pace. Go on the loan, back inside. It's a poor ball and a wasted counter-attack. Basel simply cannot string an attack together. They get a highlight, they lose the ball, we reclaim possession. We're so good on the ball, and I think it is a matter of time when we get the goal, not if. I mean, at the moment, Basel are defending in a very, very deep line, but that one has got through. Lamine Yamal, and it is going to be off the post. Of course it is. Well, hang on a second here, because Basel are through, and Basel have gone 1-0 up. It was not what I was expecting, and I am going to go attacking right away, because that is very much against the run of play. I can't show you the stats, because they're not showing in the game, but I know we've been the better team, but we start off going 1-0 down. A highlight right away, though, to bounce back. Cabrasi on the ball. Please get back into this game. We've hit the post, we've missed one-on-ones. Balde takes on, wow, he is quick this year. Balde down the left-hand side, ball back stick. Lamine is not going to get there, but it is still in play. Into Araujo, into De Jong. Touch, pause, engage, and that is going on the TikTok. That's a wonder strike. What a hit from Frankie De Jong right back into the game. Interesting. Basel have a set piece. Now, they have got Shaqiri, one of the better set piece takers about, and it hits the bar. Basel are not Basel about. They're not having a bad time here. I mean, I wish I could see the stats, because this now might actually be a bit of a level game, which is not good for me, but for a neutral viewer, you're probably lapping this up. I mean, they are not being that easy to beat right now. What's going to happen here then? Any sort of bugs? Any bugs that might give me a goal? Any sort of bugs? No, apparently it's just a Basel masterclass. Good press. Oh, he's missed it. What are you doing? He's missed it. What's he done? He come out, put a challenge in, and the ball went through his leg. But we are on the attack again. Lamine Yamal down the right-hand side. He loses the ball as well. What is going on? Yamal picks it back up. He goes alone, still goes alone, hits it. And you know what? Just bit off a bit too much there, did he? Come on, let's be real. Right, another highlight and another opportunity. The dog's on the lap now. The assistant managers come in, and I tell you what, he might have an impact here. Is it true? Does the dog have any luck on him? Let's see. De Jong hits it. It doesn't go in. No luck, mate. No luck. Actually, scrap that. That was a penalty in that bit of play. The dog has got luck. Now, the question is, are we going to score? Lewandowski, what do you think, mate? Is it going to go in? Top left? Top right? What we got to see, Lewandowski is going to step up to the plate, and he scores into the bottom right. We'll take it. Comeback complete. Piece for Basel here, and this is getting a little bit concerning, because it's not all my highlights, but I tell you what, they might regret committing that amount of people forward, because Lamine Yamal is going to be onside there. He's going to go alone, and I feel they have made a big mistake, and that might be game, set, match. I feel like this was always a game where if we went a 2-0 sort of goal deficit upwards, they're going to struggle, and oh yeah, it is from their set piece. I was going to say, are they already back into the game? I feel like that could be Basel done and dusted with. Well, a ball in from Shaqiri, and it might be another. Oh, wow, have they done it again? Basel have not learnt from their first mistake, and Yamal is still up there. I have told him to do that, and Balde is going to go through one-on-one and score. Basel, why don't you learn? 2 free goals again. A highlight for Basel here, and maybe something is going to come from it. We are going to see. No, we're not. They might be. I tell you what, there's so much of their own downfall. They get countered every single time. Nothing comes up from that, because Balde tries a wonder strike, but 2 of our goals have almost been, well, putting it bluntly, they've been gift wrapped. However, are they going to learn this time? Well, that is not a penalty, and they are going to be vulnerable to a counter-attack again. We have got so many men forward, but we are taking our time getting forward, and that probably is, yeah, they've got enough players back now, but we are still on the push. Xavi out on the left-hand side, taking on his man. Oh, Balde picks it up back inside. Yamal, it's a great save, but Basel have got to be so careful. Lewandowski on the ball from a set piece into De Jong, back into Lewandowski, back into De Jong, offside. He's offside, I think. He is offside. Don't hate it though. It's a good attempt. Oh, a set piece of our own, Lamine Yamal. Can we get 5? Can we get 5? We can't get 5. Again though, showing we just don't slow down this team. We're either everything or nothing. And this game, we're everything. I'll throw in the 77th minute into Xavi. What's going to happen here then? De Jong into Araujo, back into Xavi. What's going to happen? It's a ball over the top into Balde, and that is going to be 5-1. A great goal from Pedri. 4 in 11 matches, and Basel, they may as well pack their bags now. Goodbye. Well, Basel on the break, and we've been a little bit exploited there, to be honest, down the left-hand side. They're going to go back inside with the ball, maybe get a shot off. They're not. They are now, and they are going to get a goal. So we still have a 3-goal cushion, but does that just make the second leg that little bit more interesting? For me, I'm not going to sit here and try and get you, sort of create some false tension. I don't think it does. If they score another one, maybe it does, but I mean, I think they're going to be fine anyway. Let's see what they can do, though. Basel on the ball. They're not messing about in the last spell of this game. Again, a lot of space out here. Through 1-on-1 again, and suddenly, if they score this, our advantage has been absolutely dwindled down. And it has. Oh no. Well, we have got about 2 minutes left, and I tell you what, there's a bit of me that's actually quietly quite angry. The fact we've turned it off like that. Well, we carried on our Champions League journey, and we do actually get past Basel and beat them at their ground as well. So we are going to progress through where we did face Paris Saint-Germain, and we lost 1-0 at their home, obviously at Paris, and then we also lose in Spain. So our Champions League run actually did end, and the final is set out to be Real Madrid versus PSG. So that is a blockbuster final. Now, to be honest with you, if we look at the Champions League stages, we go to, I think we get to the quarters? The quarterfinals we got to. Now, it's not great. It's not horrific, but if you look at where we actually qualified, we brought that back quite a fair bit because we were all the way down here. So it was some recovery mission. But in between those games, it definitely didn't help, but we do get a point against Real Madrid. So that means that head-to-head, we have beat them once and then drawn. So we have got the upper hand across both of the actual legs of games in the league. We also then obviously only have the La Liga to focus on. A 3-0 win away against Levante, a 3-0 win at home against Alaves, a 3-0 win away against Real Betis. Athletic Club, we can't win. And that is what makes this title race pretty impactful. It got pretty spicy, and as it stood, it was actually joint on points. 2-0 against Oviedo, 2-1 against Betis, Mallorca 5-0. And this right here is what gives us the safety net, because Madrid lost their heads, they lost their game, and we wrap up the season with a 3-0 win, and we go on to win the actual La Liga. So do you know what? I am buzzing with that, because we only lose 4 games the whole season. This tactic might be good enough to make into a main channel video, Josh Daly. That is for anyone wondering. And the competitions, we also win the Supercoppa, so it's 2 trophies in one season. Obviously, we didn't win the Champions League. We need to improve in that in the upcoming couple of seasons, but I couldn't be much happier with the lads, what we've achieved, what we've done as a club, and this tactic is a work of art. It is beautiful. It is sensational. I mean, Lamine Yamal, 24 and 12. Lewandowski, let's filter by the goals again, 29, 15, 13. Ansu Fati, a good season out on loan. Pedri, 9 and 7. Tony Fernandez, 7 and 9. 7 and 1 for Rashford. 7 and 6 for Firmin. 13 assists for Rafinha and Yamal. And this combined system is absolutely beautiful. Don't worry, it's a glitched view. It doesn't actually play like that. Do not panic. This system is absolutely incredible. And in terms of the money, so like next season, we are going to have 103 million. And to be honest, where I go and spend that is going to be up for debate. And the comments, help me out in the comments. You know, I love to get you all involved. We are looking at this right now. And I mean, if we pick our best team, please don't be bugged. Please don't be bugged. It's not bugged. Ter Stegen, Araujo, Cabrasi, Christensen, Balde, De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski. Obviously, do we get Rashford? Do we spend money on Rashford? Do we get him in? That could be an option. Do we get another centre-back in? There's so many options. So, yeah, I am buzzing with how this has gone. Genuinely, a serious first season. I'm going to do 3 seasons, I've decided, because I think that's going to give us enough time to at least challenge for a Champions League. And we can sit back and be quite happy with that. So far on this 3-part blockbuster, things are looking good over in Spain. Again, be sure to leave a like and comment below what you think of the video. Any feedback is massively appreciated. We're going to be live streaming here soon, by the way, playing actually FM26. So make sure you whack the bell on so you never miss again. If you want to get a bit of early access to the handsy flick tactic that obviously can win titles and trophies, you can sign up to the Patreon. It will potentially be a main channel video. I just want to do a few more years of it, make sure it's all good. So hopefully you understand that. I'll catch you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.